You guys have a video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about some ideas and possibilities evolving around the multiplayer aspect of Marvel's Avengers. Now, Crystal want this game to be played for years to come, and without a great, unique and in-depth multiplayer system, that goal is not going to be easy to achieve. And they obviously know that is the case, and they know that multiplayer needs to be perfect if this game wants to have a long lifespan. Now, the multiplayer aspect of this game is definitely the thing I'm most excited about. Obviously, the whole story campaign and all of that is all just as exciting, but a multiplayer Avengers game is something that a lot of us have been craving for a long time. And after the last multiplayer Avengers game was cancelled, you know, it kind of stoked the thirst for a multiplayer Avengers game even more. Now, there's not much that we know about multiplayer so far. Like, we've seen a few small clips of gameplay, but nothing that really defines the multiplayer system in the game. And maybe we're going to see more on the 24th during the War Table event, but I feel like that might be a bit more evolved around the story campaign, but you never know. Okay, so we know that there are upgrades and gear customizations that can be adapted to each player's style. So each character has different upgrade paths and different abilities that you can equip to match the way you play. Now, this in itself will definitely define how the teams work together. So for example, if you have a Black Widow who is designed to perform best in 1v1's up close combat, then she could take on the toughest of enemies, whilst like an Iron Man who is best at dealing with big groups can act as a suppressive fire against enemies and protect Widow during her 1v1. So the fact that like different players are designed to do best in different situations, this is exciting in itself, as it will add so much more depth to how the teams work together. But some other great ideas that could be implemented, and who knows, they might be being implemented, would be that like enemies can grab a player or like pin them down, and another player can come and save them from the grab. So the player being grabbed could have to like button mash and try to escape the grip, but another player can intervene and instantly let them loose. And like if a player is low on health and they're being grabbed, it could be a matter of life or death on whether someone comes to save them in time. This also opens up some more opportunity for like cinematic moments and animations, and it could enhance the whole teamwork aspect so much more. Like, just imagine you're seeing like Tony getting like absolutely mauled by loads of enemies and his armor's like flaring up, he's like buzzing everywhere, and then you just like lightning strike all the enemies away from him as Thor. Another cool thing would be like when a player loses all their health, other players could be able to revive them or protect them from enemies until they regain consciousness. The whole aspect of like not instantly dying and respawning could add a lot more tension to the game and make it more accurate to like a film would be, where characters are like really weak and you have to make sure they like survive through it. It would also be cool if you could like carry knocked heroes to a safer place where you can revive them or leave them to be revived by someone else. If you were like, I don't know, Hawkeye carrying Natasha away from the fight, or Natasha carrying Hawkeye away from the fight and putting him in a safer location. These are just all things that could really make the whole teamwork aspect, which is something integral to the Avengers, it could make that so much more in-depth and so much more rewarding to work as a team. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is team-up moves. It's definitely to go without saying that there's got to be some sort of team-up animations and team-up moves, and they could be made to be so cinematic and feel so awesome. It could literally just be like an Avengers film. Obviously, each combination of heroes would have different team-up moves, similar to like Ultimate Alliance, which had so many great and unique moves for each combination of characters. But in this game, it could definitely be more cinematic than that, like a mini semi-scripted cutscene or something where two players take down one enemy together, similar to like an Arkham Knight. There should be different types of team-up moves too, so ones that like affect larger groups of enemies, and they could be much more like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, where like Both players can combine their powers to unleash a lot of damage within a certain radius. And obviously we know each character has multiple possible abilities that you can equip. So the team up moves could vary greatly depending on which abilities each individual player has equipped. I know that would be a lot of work considering how many characters there will be in the end, but Crystal really want this game to succeed and be played for years and enjoyed for years too. So it would be a great addition to help with that. Now this next one is definitely a long shot, but would be really amazing and would blow the multiplayer aspect of this game out of the water. So each character has their own unique traversal, right? With Tony's flight, Widow's grappling, Cap's parkour wall run, and Hulk's wall jumping, and obviously there's going to be much more than that. Now imagine if certain characters could carry other players with them during traversal. So like, you could be flying with Cap, like grabbing Cap by his arm, or like he could ride on your back, or jumping from building to building as Hulk whilst holding Natasha. Now this might not even be necessary, as I'm sure they'll make each individual character have very able traversal and quite equal traversal somehow. But it would be such a fun and unique gameplay feature that could add even more depth to the gameplay. Like, we've seen co-op gameplay of Tony and Thor flying around whilst Widow jumps off a building, and obviously there will be times where there's just not much to grapple to for her character. And like Cap, if he just has to run through a street, I mean obviously he can parkour and like wall climb, but it would be so much easier for him if he could just be like flown somewhere by Tony. So like characters like Natasha and Cap, they would definitely benefit from a feature like this. Anyway, that's just a few of my ideas. I have so many more, I just don't want to make this video too long. Let me know your ideas for multiplayer gameplay in Marvel's Avengers. I'm genuinely interested. And also thank you all so much for the recent support on my last video, and for like supporting me after I literally didn't do a video in like 10 months. Also let me know any ideas you have for videos I can make on Miles, on Avengers, any game you're interested in, because I'll definitely be listening to all of them. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. I'm Mental Gamer, over and out.